Hey guys, welcome back to another fine episode of Vanishing Gates. The show you guys come to if you want to hear a bunch of dumb idiots smoke cigars and talk about ghosts and crap.
Should I hit the go live button, perhaps?
That might be helpful.
Yeah, YouTube, you're getting an extra special. Hey guys, welcome back to Vanishing Gates. We had a false start. YouTube's gonna get a little extra today. Yeah, man, off to a fine start. Will you fix this?
Just like every other episode.
We got it anyway. It's like I already knew what to do.
One day we'll get this right.
So guys, yeah, I'm your host, Jay, and with me always is
the contemplative Jack.
Contemplative?
Contemplative.
Whatever you say, and
Paco.
This guy. So how's your week been, guys?
Busy.
Mine was good, especially when I knew you were going to do that intro, because I noticed you hadn't hit the go live button yet.
I am glad you caught that. You were on fire.
No, I caught it before you did it.
No, I know, but you're on fire.
I was going to warn you, but then I thought...
No, literally, you're on fire.
No, really, you're on fire. I lit you on fire. You're burning. You're a hunk and burning molten magma.
I am literally on fire, everyone.
I mean,
We're going to need you guys to share because my phone won't let me go to my website.
All right, so what's your news? You had some extraterrestrial news. Why don't you share that with the group there, Paco?
All right, so I don't know about you guys out there, but I'm a disc golfer, and anybody else out there that discs, you guys will understand this, and hope you guys do good out there. Actually, speaking of disc golfing, I'm actually doing a tournament, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and but I came to this conclusion that
this should be good.
It's amazing, actually. So while you're out there discing, and you're trying to get as close to the basket as you can, and there's like nothing but trees and everything else out there, and your disc just ends up going into the tree. Well, come to find out, you legitimately don't suck at disc golf. So this whole thing is that. What I found out, that's a lot of ha-ha-ha's.
Yes,
I can't repeat the comment.
And
we're a family-friendly show.
Very friendly. But I came to find out that every time the disc hits the tree and just lands like right underneath the basket instead of going in the basket, or every time that your disc ends up hitting the basket instead of hitting chains and just falls to the floor right next to it, totally aliens.
Are you sure it's not Bigfoot?
Up here, possibly.
It might be Bigfoot behind the tree swatting it as it goes forward.
It possibly could be up here, but anywhere else, it's totally aliens.
So you think aliens are hijacking your disc golf discs?
Yes, absolutely.
There can be no other human explanation.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. Okay. I am a professional disc golfer, and
who are your sponsors?
Don't worry about that.
They
do not sponsor us. They do not sponsor us on Vanishing Gates, so I can't name my sponsors. And if Vanishing Gates did sponsor me, then maybe I'd actually say something about it.
I mean, it's almost like you could just choose to be sponsored by us because you're part of the show. But
I've decided to sponsor a sewing bee.
A what?
I have no idea. I slammed spelling bee and sewing together. And
like a sewing bee, like
sewing bee.
A sewing bee. You have to spell the words via sewing. You have to use like embroidery and stuff to spell the words that they're asking for. This is gonna be the slowest spelling bee on earth.
Bridget is back. It's good to see you again, Bridget. Thanks for actually joining the show.
No, she already said she's not. She's already teased us with her presence in chat. Yeah.
So I wasn't allowed to read because I was actually sharing a story.
Okay, so
but I'm highly offended.
Let's do cigar of the show because we need to get to that finally. We're doing factory throwout 59s. I was not sold immediately on it. It felt kind of like a wet cigar, meaning it's a little moister than it should be.
Moist.
So moister than an oyster.
Speaking of which, I just had an oyster party the other day.
That's
oyster party or pearl party?
I hate oysters. Oysters. Actual oysters.
Did you actually eat the oysters?
I have a friend who works for a place that does that they separate oysters and stuff like that. And he brought some home. Yes.
So you were shucking? Was
I
it
never
a shucking good
oyster.
time?
I never do.
Oh, she said that she can watch this week.
Oh, can watch this week. Yay!
Oh.
It's only because she says she's brain dead in chat, guys. By the way, guys that are watching, we're talking to one of our people in chat.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, you feel free to comment in chat. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, etc., etc.
Definitely share to our page and share to pages you follow.
Oh yeah, great.
Share to some that you follow pages.
Yeah.
That like the paranormal, that like the unknown, that doesn't mind, share it to those pages. Get us out there.
You know, just do us all a favor. Just turn off your computers.
No, that's not doing us a favor at all. So basically,
Stop getting our hopes up.
I think Bridget in chat finally tapped on to where I was getting. You're basically a bad mother shucker.
Except for I never had a proclamation.
Which ones for the crickets?
7.
Well, it doesn't matter. You
It doesn't
turn off
matter.
the sound.
Oh, well,
Otherwise,
that
we get the echo.
sucks.
I know. I got to figure this out. I'm not a tech guy.
Cricket noise is there.
Oh man. And of course, our favorite Canadian's gonna leave because you're wearing sunglasses.
Screw them.
You lied. That's Pinnacle vodka. That's not.
Oh, so it's not Tecate? Oh, sorry. I got the wrong one. Sorry, I thought these were the Tecate ones.
Fail. So,
Hey, Dave, you should really stick around, man. I might end up taking the glasses off just for you. Probably not, but, you know, stick around and see.
Wait till the last second. He might just do it.
I
we'll turn on
might,
strobe
just
lights.
might.
We'll pull out a pole, and he can strip his glasses off. It'll be great.
Woo, sexy.
$30 bills at the foot of Paco.
Mm.
Don't. I don't want your
I
dirty
prefer
money.
quarters.
Quarters. Make it hail!
I'm too poor.
Oh,
Rich,
man.
I'm poor. I gotta make it hail.
So, yeah, the cigars are okay. They're decent.
Yeah, they're not too bad. They're really not too bad. I wish
got-
they would kind of like burn a little bit nicer. They're not really.
Mine's burning fine.
Well, it's,
I'm just worried it's going to go out.
That's
too
what I'm saying.
soon.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to have
That's
to
what I'm
relight.
saying. I
So,
don't want
okay,
to relight it.
we did Cigar the Show. Let's talk about our sponsors a little bit because we have to do this because you guys are great. Pro Prism Design.
Thank you. I am great.
Sponsors.
Oh.
You know, like AA, but different? Because we're not quitters.
So my dad always told me, son, I won't quit drinking because I'm not a quitter.
Wasn't that Christopher Titus that had that joke?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's
I
a
miss
funny
that show.
comedian.
Titus.
I like his
Show.
brother.
Why are
His
we
brother
talking?
was awesome.
This is not Colonel.
This is totally going
Anyway,
downhill.
Pro Prism Design. If you need graphic stuff made, go to proprismdesign.com and check out her stuff. They do. It's a woman-owned company based in Morris, Illinois, and they do all sorts of cool stuff. Check them out and let them know that we sent you here at Vanishing Gates. Also, guys, we're getting really, really close to that magical season. Well, we're in it for me. For these guys, we're finally there. That's right. The season of miracles is upon us. Talking, of course, about Halloween, and H Day is closing in rapidly.
Not
Look,
Christmas.
look, I'm just,
Or New Year's. Or his birthday. Halloween.
H
Yes.
Day. Halloween.
don't worry.
Code
For
orange.
those of you who are worried, he's going to stop doing this. The day after Halloween, we're going to be close to
I'm
H
not.
Day
I'm going to start
again.
counting down for 365, buddy.
I'm sure you will. That's
It's never going to stop.
It's almost
That
the
said-
haunting season again. Did it just end yesterday? Who cares? It's almost.
That said, guys, we want you guys to go to the Facebook page of our buddy Jason Glenn, Cotton Studios.
Oh, look at that. Hi, Jason.
Wow,
That was
his ear
perfect
must have been
timing.
itching 'cause
Like,
he just
it
popped
really
in and
should
chat.
have.
Check out Jason Glenn, Cotton Studios. I am going to buy some of your stuff, Jason. I promise. I just have to
Or you just send us free stuff.
have money for that. No. He's trying to make money.
Oh, so are we.
Yeah, stop trying to make money.
So
And
are
now
we.
all
Why
of
are
a
you
sudden
signing
you
it all?
send free
But I'm known to spend money on decorations when I'm not spending money to make decorations.
Yeah, he's his
That's
target
why I have
audience.
10 cans of great stuff lying around because I'm going to build props here in a minute. After the show's done, I'm going to start building my props again. I got a bunch of rats I gotta turn into zombie rats and stuff and add lights to. And so that said, also, we're going to be at the first annual Halloween pop-up boutique on the 7th of October. That's going to be hosted by our buddy Emily from Mystic Rose Tarot. You guys remember her? She's on the show. She'll be doing some tarot for us on the show. We'll be live. It's going to be a long show. We're going to be from like 6 to 9 o'clock.
You know, and I want to say we've actually done a show at the Eureka Inn before.
What? We're not going to be at the Eureka Inn.
That's
Did
irrelevant.
you say the Eureka Inn?
No.
No, what'd you say?
I said on October 7th,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be doing a show hosted by Emily, who's been on the show before.
Oh.
It's going to be at Humble Herbal's Classroom.
Oh.
In Old Town
I
Eureka.
don't know why I saw.
I
heard Eureka
don't
Inn.
really know either. So you guys check that
that
out.
must have
We've
been
shared it on the page. If you're in the area of Humboldt County, come and check us out. We'll be giving out stickers. We're having stickers made finally. Well, decals. Anyway, it's going to be great. We're going to give out some stickers. You guys can sit down and share your stories with us live. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then next week, though, we have these are your guests. How about you talk about it?
We're going to have Paranormal Investigators New Zealand. Name's not very catchy, but I have a feeling they haven't really...
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. It's a lot easier to freaking say.
Yes! It's a lot
than
easier to say.
Virginia Beach Paranormal Research. No, hey, Joel, we love you, buddy.
We totally love
And we need you back on the show soon after that
Yes.
investigation, you guys.
We'd love
No,
to
I'm
have
not,
you guys
Bridget,
go on
calm
the show. And now this guy's pretty cool. They've got some good stories. They're doing we're going to be contacting them before the show to, just kind of
I
make
don't
sure
know
everything's
why.
right.
I love citrus, and citrus is good for everyone. They're from New Zealand. They're Kiwis. It's citrus. Get it?
Anyways, so we're gonna be doing a
This is
pre-show.
what happens when I do this show sober, dude. This is not good.
We're gonna be doing the pre-show, and then they're actually
Really
doing that night. They're doing an investigation of a prison in New Zealand, and so they'll have some pretty cool stories from there too to tell us on Saturday.
Or they'll have a very, very, very boring story to tell.
Which I
From
don't.
my experience,
they've already got
paranormal
some good stories,
investigations,
though.
you don't get a ton. Well,
They've
good.
got
That's
some
awesome.
good stories.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna let you lead the interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
for
won't be
that.
there.
Hey, you did a good job the show. You led last. You're getting there. You're a budding rose in the paranormal world.
What does he have to lead? Make him lead one.
Because he doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Is he our Silent Bob of the show?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Jay and Silent Bob.
actually, it's Jalen Silent Paco. You need a trench coat and a ponytail and
No
a baseball
ponytail.
cap.
I'll do the baseball cap and the trench coat, but no ponytail.
And then you need to direct some really funny movies and some really terrible movies also.
Perfect. Just like Pauly Shore.
What?
Is he dead?
Do you not get
No,
that?
he's not.
I know.
He's not, dude. Like, okay, so I totally thought that dude was dead, and then
It's because it was a movie!
what was that? No, I'm not talking about that anymore. Totally different subject.
In
But
chat, Paco is mysterious. He's not mysterious, lady. He's just plastered.
no, I am not plastered. My God, this is the second soda that I've had. Jeez.
In 10 minutes.
So I'm still
right.
working on the second one.
That said, guys, we have a lot of extra shows coming up in Halloween. More so in October. See, this is the
Same
mindset
difference.
that I'm
Same
in.
difference.
In October, we have a few extra shows. We're gonna do a Friday the 13th episode. We're gonna do on October 14th and 21st. And 28th. We're gonna have our regular shows, so our regular Saturday night shows. But Friday the 13th, and then on, of course, Halloween, October 31st is a Tuesday. If it's not raining, we're gonna set up in my yard haunt, and we're gonna do the show on that Tuesday of Halloween while we give out candy to trick or treaters.
I'm gonna be busy. I can't make it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there either.
I will be setting up a show.
Look,
I'm
I'm
just
here.
kidding. I'll be there.
No, you better
I'll be there. I
Okay,
might
so-
actually wear the banana hammock.
I mean, not in my front yard. Please, no. We don't need the police showing up on Halloween. Asking
Who was that? Dave? Was it Dave that was actually wanting me to wear it? Who was it?
I
was
don't
one
know.
of our- it was
I
one
don't
of our
think
cousins-
anyone
one of
wants
our
you to wear
listeners.
it realistically.
It was a Vanisher. No, nobody wants me to wear a banana hammock. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you talk about your Twitch streaming too on our Twitch channel.
Oh, she wants to know what your costumes are.
Oh, for Halloween, we haven't figured out the Halloween one yet. For
I
the
have.
Tuesday event, for the 7th, when we're doing the live event, I've got a costume set aside. The theme for the thing is black and white, so I'm going to be the Phantom of the Opera.
Mm-hmm. And I will be the evil jester.
So he says, and then we think he's going to be
What's
the
that
penguin,
supposed to mean?
the Danny
I
DeVito
really-
penguin, mind you.
Either that, or I really kind of think that he should be the Hamburglar.
I mean, do you have a hamburger costume? You can
Look,
wear?
this is
I mean,
insulting.
I might end up having to buy him a damn costume.
I'm gonna be a giant purple grape. That's what I'm gonna be.
It's a
black,
black,
and white. You can't be different colors. You can't be Sailor Moon. You can't be a grape.
I could be whatever I want to be, and I'm going to be a grape.
Okay, he can be a grape. Oh man, a grape.
Actually, I'm gonna be Tuxedo Mask.
Well, it's a Phantom of the Opera, but Japanese.
Exactly. I'm
And
gonna
they
have
throw
a
cards and
thornless
roses
rose
and stuff.
and a deck of cards that I can throw at people whenever I need.
Get a
Whatever
black
they
and
You
white
just
Soil
really
outfit or
passed the nerd bar a little too far. So why don't you talk about the horror game you're streaming on the Twitch channel right now?
It's not actually a horror. It's
Is
less. It's a zombie game.
What is it?
It's called Fortnite.
How is it so far?
It's really good.
Is it a first-person shooter?
It's third person.
Third person? I'm not gonna play it.
He doesn't have skills, so he has to have first person.
No, I have a brain. I don't play third person.
You play the game Destiny, which is just
First person.
garbage.
I've
Just
also been
garbage.
playing. What's that other game that came out that I can't remember because it wasn't.
Dude, D2 is amazing, by the way.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Paco loves the D.
I've also been playing 7 Days to Die, which
That
is basically
was
just
horrible.
Minecraft
How
zombies.
is
Zombies.
seven
Say something like
Days to Die is Minecraft
Yes,
zombies?
it's
I thought it was
Minecraft
like
zombies.
real people though. Is it the brick setup or is it just?
It doesn't do a brick setup. It actually it uses like real sightings or real scenes, stuff like that. I don't know how to explain.
So it's not Minecraft.
It doesn't. It acts like Minecraft the way you destroy things, the way you build things. It's a brick builder, but you wouldn't notice.
I mean, okay.
So
Do you remember Clock Tower Scissor Man?
Oh,
Oh, that was the first time Scissor Man came around.
Isn't this a paranormal show, you guys?
We talk about video
I'm just
games
saying.
too, and horror games,
Just
especially
saying.
horror movies. Are we gonna go see it or what?
Yeah,
We just have
we're
to go see
waiting.
it.
We're waiting on this host that's supposed to be taking us.
You're
to go
waiting
see.
for me to buy you tickets. To
Yeah,
go
that's
see
right.
it.
We are. That was
Okay.
your idea.
We're
We'll
waiting
hold
for
you to
you.
it.
Where do you get?
I'll buy
ready?
popcorn.
Wait,
Paco, we'll get
popcorn will
popcorn.
be as much as the tickets for all of us.
How are we gonna get the beers in the theater? Never mind, I'll figure that part
Yeah,
out.
no.
So, hey,
Wait,
guys,
the
in chat,
soda.
you see
Yeah,
let us
wow.
know.
soda?
Sodas.
That's right.
The old
Rhino
70s,
plastic.
Hey, stop making fun of my nose.
Why do you make fun of your nose? I don't even know why I said rhinoplasty.
I thought we
It's popped
decided
in
I
my
was
mind
gonna
for
get a.
no reason.
I thought
at
I
all.
was gonna get a curly red fro and be a chunk. Get a yellow raincoat.
Only if you're going to truffle shuffle. Guys in chat,
You
if
have
you want
to
to
do
see him
truffle.
truffle shuffle, let us know now in chat by loud voice. Now, the next thing I want to approach is something I've been tiptoeing around for a couple weeks because I've been too busy to get to it. I'm going to get the footage together for our Bigfoot Days Festival.
So he says.
I just actually finally went over the video files. I actually got some. I thought the audio was going to be crap and I have to work with it. Actually, the audio is pretty good, so I'll be putting that together here pretty soon, or I'll make him do it, one or the other. And I'll have some little excerpts here and there. I'll just try to put together a little special thing. It'll be a shorter video than usual that you guys can watch because we got some great people on, some great interviews. We can't wait to have that all put together so you guys can see it because it's kind of fun. Some really good responses, good scene. It's all fun and games. And water slides. They
It's
have
all fun and
inflatable
games until
water
Bigfoot
slides.
eats somebody.
Oh man! So what is our topic for the night, Jack?
Raining jellyfish.
I mean, that's one way to get ahead of the game.
An explosion at the Astroglide Factory.
Can we talk about the story before we get to what happened in the end? Or at least our conclusion. Can we not do our conclusions first? That's all I'm asking. So you guys watch Unsolved Mysteries, right? I always did. Same with the In Search of with Leonard Nemo. Those shows are some of the reasons.
Leonard Nemo.
In Search of
Is
with
he a
Leonard
fish?
Nemo.
Leonard Nimoy.
Is it Nemo?
It's Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy.
Live
Yeah,
long
that's
and
what-
nanu nanu.
Oh my god. Dude, I hate you right now.
It's been a long week, man. It's been a
He was
stressful week.
his prime enemies, the Daleks. His allies, the Jedis. Don't you remember?
Isn't his companion Alpha 5?
Yes.
So many nerds are going to try to kill us after this. Send your death threats to Jack.
We haven't done that in so long.
No,
Man, just like the whole Vin Diesel jokes and
I
everything.
think they
My
ran out
God.
of steam, bro. I think they just ran out of steam.
I don't think we ever did stop. I think you're
So,
facing the
In
Mandela
Search
effect.
of Leonard Nimoy was a big one. So, when I, coming up, I would watch In Search of Leonard Nimoy, and I would watch Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. And I said, Stack, give me a break.
It's Nemo, by the way.
It's not. And, well, there was an episode where they talked about
Like
the
shit all of-
Oakville blobs. Do you guys
What?
remember that episode at all? The Oakville blobs?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, so on August 7th of 1994, at 3 a.m. in the morning, in Oakville, Washington, it started to rain. Now, Oakville isn't a large place. It's about 50 square miles. It's all land, no water. It's close to the ocean, but not super
Okay.
close to the ocean.
I need you to explain what square miles is to everybody, so that way they understand. I mean, because they may not know that square miles isn't actually 50 long.
Google it.
There's an app for
No,
that.
we need you to explain it. Just like we need you to explain Leonard Nemo to us. Like,
I'm going to make a Vanishing Gates shirt that says, I love Leonard Nemo. And it's going to be the fish, the Pixar fish with a Spock haircut.
the ears, bro. The ears.
And the ears. You guys all suck.
Just make one of the ears. Just make one of the ears really small.
Now, again, it's not a big place. So, like, as of 2010, there's only like 684 people that lived in Oakville, Washington.
Were there vampires there? Did the vampires sparkle? Can you confirm?
And oversized.
Wasn't that Oregon?
oversized wolves?
No. I think it was Washington.
I don't know. I didn't read that garbage. So, a small number of people for the area. So, it's fairly dense in population. 319 acres of land. And it's about 600 people living in that area of land.
Hmm.
So, the strange part was when the rain came down. It started to rain. But it wasn't water. It was this gelatinous substance that came out of the sky. Little globules or blobs about the size of rice grains, and some were a little larger and they cluster together. But there was a cop, Officer David Lacey, was working with a ride-along, a buddy of his, when the rain first started. He noticed something was off when he stared at he started his windshield wipers. I can't read or talk tonight. Good Lord. He started his windshield wipers, and I wrote whippers, by the way. Because guys, don't do research when you're tired. No, Bridget, probably not, but that was because it was clear.
Hello, new person.
Oh man. Anyway, the
Hello.
rain didn't clear, but it actually it decreased the visibility when he turned his windshield wipers on because it streaked across the window, not the yard like I normally do after a couple shots of soda. Irish soda.
Okay,
because
so
we're family friendly.
now I'm
Very
confused.
friendly.
Like when they say gelatinous, do they mean like what we assume, like really sticky substances, or?
Okay, so it was like at first like one person thought it was hail because it was solids, but then she picked it up because it's a good thing to do if you don't always pick it up with your bare hands.
Yes.
Always a good idea to pick up substances you can't.
You know what? Why
identify
not
with
just use your
bare
teeth next
hands.
time?
Or your tongue, lick it.
Yeah, just.
I don't know what it is, but it's mine now because I licked it. I mean, that's how they figured out about those frogs to get you high, right?
That's what happens.
Who goes around just licking things? It's like the first guy decided, oh, I want to drink whatever comes out of those udders, and that's how we got milk.
Yeah. How did that
It's
even happen?
You know
Like,
what? I don't want to know.
I wonder how that tastes.
Just-
Just milky and white.
It's good enough for that hamburger over there. Maybe I should try it. Oh man.
That's
Oh,
terrible.
good times. So it was this gelatinous substance. It was like globulous. So it was clear, so it was like transparent looking. So it looked like rain or hail. Some of it might have been a little fuzzy looking if it was hail-like. You know what I mean? But like ice basically. But it wasn't because when you picked it up, it was more like gel. I mean, it's gel. It's gel. They're blobs. What more do you want to know? Like what?
Well, just to clarify,
Wouldn't it be great if I caught this into a beanbag?
Bridget,
and used
it was
I don't
not
think it'll
that.
work.
We are family friendly.
No, I already went through that.
You already did that?
It couldn't be that because it globbed up and like was like pick upable, and then it would gel together too in some parts and form together.
I'm just saying, if I put this inside, if I emptied a beanbag chair
it
and
wasn't
scooped up
sticky,
a bunch of
Bridget, in
it
chat. It wasn't sticky.
and zipped it,
Get your mind out of
I
the
could
gutter,
have a
Bridget.
gelatin
Hey, she's a
beanbag
doctor.
chair.
She's the one with no. She's a doctor, or will be, or free healthcare for Vanishing Gates.
Yes. We have to travel to Florida for it.
No, we're gonna move her and her husband here when they get married.
Can you guys bring an alligator with you?
An alligator?
Yes,
Yeah.
alligators.
I totally want an alligator.
Yeah.
Just like a little baby one. Like I could raise it. It could be my pet.
Bring me 10 so I can release them in the sewers.
Yes.
So we can have more show content as we go. Oh, so
we will create lizard men.
anyway, the rain covered about 20 square miles, and it rained about, I want to say 6 times on and off for like 3 days or something like that. But by the end of the first day, people were getting very sick. Getting one woman she got dizzy, short of breath, flu-like symptoms. At first, they thought she had an inner ear infection. What did you just do?
I managed to shake up my root beer.
I mean,
I love how you said wrestle, Bridget. That was really, really awesome.
you guys can't see it because this bag of undisclosed variety of chips is in the way, but Jack just spilled his
Why would you
own
take-
globules all over the desk.
Why would you take my food?
No.
You can't even
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
see it.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
I'm gonna do the show from over here. Don't worry about it. I got it.
so Officer Lacey got out of his car to investigate and found that the instead of water, it was these stupid small blobs. And by the end of the day, a bunch of people got sick, violently ill, nausea, vertigo, blurred vision, and respiratory issues. Many of the town had flu-like symptoms that lasted up to 3 months, which
Wow.
that sucks because I had the flu last week. I actually missed a day and a half of work, which is really unlike me because I had to be really sick if I'm taking time off. And man, the flu blows goats.
Does it?
Oh yeah, like a leaf blower, because that's what we talk about. We don't talk about naughty things here. So if you're getting the leaves off your yard and a goat walks in front of you, you'll get the idea what the flu is like.
She says it's asbestos.
It wasn't asbestos. It was not asbestos. No one had mesothelioma.
Oh man.
Now,
Plus, it takes like 40 to 50 years anyways to be able to.
No,
accumulate
not
that.
always.
No, it
Now,
does.
dogs and cats that came in contact with the substance died as well. Got sick and died.
That sucks.
So Dottie Hearn was a gal. After it stopped raining, Dottie had stepped outside and saw the blobs everywhere. Thinking it had been hail, she touched it to find out the hail was gelatinous in texture. So again, guys, the best thing for you to do if you don't know what it is, pick it up with your bare hands
Or look.
and maybe eat some, because that's what we do in life
Mhm.
to figure out how things work.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's it, right? Isn't that what Tesla's motto was? Touch it to see if it shocks you.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I made that up. I totally made that up. And also, guys, don't always be protected. Always use protection when you're picking up gelatinous substances.
How long ago was this?
1994.
It probably wasn't an
August?
asbestos mine around there because we
The
actually
guys
stopped
watching, that's a
using.
chat question.
We actually stopped using asbestos inside of buildings and factories and stuff
So,
like that back in the
Fun
late.
fact, right outside the
early
studio, the
70s.
house right here,
Uh-huh.
it has asbestos siding.
Well, yeah, no, it totally could, but it was actually put in back in the 70s though. It wasn't put in like after a certain I think
I know.
72.
They cut it out.
So like we totally stopped. We right around 1972 we found out that asbestos was actually harmful for us and that should not be inside of our buildings and around our children, just like
Hold
lead.
on, wait.
And everything
Paco
else.
knows stuff?
Yeah.
Are you shocked?
What?
And so we actually stopped doing it. That's right around the time. Right after that is when we actually started. Instead of installing it, we started demoing it out. And the only reason why I do know this is because it's actually a family trade, and I've done asbestos demolition and everything.
Well, I'm so glad you're here
Well,
for this episode then.
I went to a school that was at asbestos, and the reason they did it is because it was flame retardant, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is.
Fun fact,
it's still used in certain things.
when asbestos was actually found, it was actually found by by Greece and everything, and like the kings and the queens and stuff like that. They would actually sew asbestos. It's from a rock. It's literally a rock, and all the fibers and stuff like that from the rock. That's what gets in your lungs and creates mesothelioma. But that fiber was actually weaved into their napkins, and so all the kings and queens and everything, they would, after wiping their face off, they would just throw the napkins in the fire to burn off the food, and then they would reuse the napkins the next time.
That explains why they always got sick and died.
That is so true.
Or went nuts.
Welcome to Textile Talk on NPR with Paco.
You gotta be good for something, right?
The wonders of asbestos and why it should have never gone away.
Anyway, after coming in contact with the blobs, Dottie's daughter found her laid out in the bathroom. She was awake, but in a weakened state and felt cold, though she sweat just drenched and she was pale and pallor. So she clearly had flu-like symptoms. The doctors have essentially said she had an ear infection, but it turned out not to be the case. Her daughter, recalling the odd rain, gathered some to send to the hospital, where a lab tech examined it and found the blob contained human white blood cells. Was unable to identify what it was or where it came from. Now, her daughter worked in some kind of hazard control or something for the state of Washington. So she was smart enough to go and gather the samples, knowing that her mother had just come in contact, and apparently put some in the freezer because you wanted it around your food, and send it to someone she knew in a lab is what really happened. And he did the research on it, and they found some bacteria stuff in it. And
we know that Bridget has at least some form of like bacterial agent in her refrigerator, just in case. She's a doctor. She can be a doctor, so she probably keeps samples around. Well, Bridget, isn't it safe to keep like aids and stuff in your fridge near your food? In vials? I mean, I'm just wondering, as a doctor, would you suggest that?
I just see this right now. She has her own deep web page. So if homeless people go missing in Bridget's area, we can't talk about this anymore because we don't want to lose our free healthcare chances. So at the point that she sent it in, was sent to the health department of Washington, to a microbiologist that said that it was full of 2 species of bacteria. Now, it had human white blood cells in it. And I guess either this guy or another guy that checked it said that he believed it was used, the gel was used as a kind of a medium to put the bacteria in, as like a transport for the bacteria. And he went back to his lab one day after doing tests, and he reported all these findings to his boss. And he went to find that his samples were missing in a medium security area. And the boss said, you know what, don't ask about it, don't talk about it. We're not doing this. And shut him down. But it was stuff that's found in the digestive system. Now, there was an argument that it could have been airplane waste, the blue balls of fury that come down when you flush the air toilets. But it was clear and transparent, and so they ruled that out pretty
Bowling
quick.
bombs?
Plus, I mean, that would be a lot of stuff. It covered like 20 square miles of land. I don't think the toilets flush enough in airplanes to cover that much.
I mean, if the crop dust it,
now I know that the Dave Matthews, was it Dave Matthews Band or was it REM? Their tour bus is driving over that bridge, and the driver accidentally hit the release button and landed on all those people that were underneath. They were on like a ferry doing a tour, and it landed on top of them. I think it was Dave Matthews Band.
That's horrible.
It might have been REM. I don't know. I don't want them to come after me, but we know it was a settled suit.
Well, I like Dave Matthews Band, so let's say it's REM.
But that happened pretty quick.
I like REM, and I don't like Dave Matthews, so I'm going to say it was Dave Matthews.
I mean, if they were smart, they would have saved vials of that to sell to fans.
I got their
So
DNA.
I think I have this whole scenario completely figured out, by the way. We're going to debunk
I've
this.
got it too. We got
We're
this.
not going to debunk this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we know what happened.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
So, The story is actually covered again on Unsolved Mysteries. Man, I couldn't find a ton of stuff from the internet for this. There was some here and there, but mostly Unsolved Mysteries covered a lot of it. And actually, Dottie's daughter came out and said, "Hey, you know what? Like Unsolved Mysteries covered the best. They did the best coverage of the scenario of what happened. So it's pretty accurate." She couldn't tell. Some people said that cattle had died, larger animals and stuff. Somebody said another person had died, but they couldn't really directly link that. Dottie's daughter's kitten actually died, and from some kind of bacterial stomach thing that there was no history of that kitten having. So it was kind of weird. They said it to some other people, and someone else thought the things were alive, living specimens, which I don't think was accurate.
You know that makes.
I don't think that's even. I think that was more of a creepypasta or something that was added to the story.
Well, there's.
It gets kind of convoluted, but there's also thoughts that the government. Okay, so
Hold on.
there was a military exercise. They were flying planes over the town to go to the ocean and doing stuff, low-flying aircrafts. And while the government says, "Oh yeah, we were doing tests, but it was just fly tests. We weren't doing anything or dropping anything," which they're going to admit to it if they totally are poisoning people, right?
Right. You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
They totally
So
would.
we know that totally it was hard.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it was aliens, but it was Bigfoot.
No, it was totally aliens dropping their babies.
The other thing that was blamed was the military dropping bombs in the ocean and sending jellyfish into the air.
That clears it up. That's jellyfish.
Because people don't know how explosives work or
That
how
seems-
matter
I don't know. That kind of
transports.
seems more likely. You know,
I
really not. I'm
jellyfish,
thinking
you know,
jellyfish.
in the air, coming down.
Yeah.
And particles.
Makes
because
sense. You know,
of
because
the
they get
bomb.
the bomb is like it's
Right.
more powerful than a nuclear bomb, so it managed to send everything up instead of down or
What about the fish chunks?
away.
Right.
Why just jellyfish?
Well,
Because jellyfish
maybe it
are
was
like
a,
light
maybe it was
as
jellyfish
feathers.
field. You know, maybe it was in jellyfish field.
Maybe,
It
yeah,
was
maybe
like,
there
it
was
hit
just a
the-
bunch of jellyfish. Why?
It sounds like a Beatles album, Jellyfish Fields.
It's more along the lines of SpongeBob, but it's okay.
Jellyfish fields.
You guys are killing me here. Forever. So, but there was human white blood cells. There was 2 kinds of bacteria found in it, and it made people very sick. And we know it happened. There's not a lot of information on anything else because the sample was gone. They don't know. But the microbiologist that studied it decided that this was like a packaging system to drop down.
Right.
Now we know the government has done experiments on people before.
No, they do it with mosquitoes, right?
What?
They've done it with mosquitoes, right? I mean,
When?
they've infected
Site
mosquitoes with something.
sources. With small things.
I have no idea.
They
like
infected
the
mosquitoes.
flu.
I don't know
I
if the
think it
government
was-
has to infect mosquitoes or anything. They literally suck blood to survive.
I think
Well,
he
no,
was like
they-
more talking about like MK.
So,
Ultra or
like,
something
so-
like
no,
that.
so
Wait,
like-
no,
No,
we're
it's
not going
not.
to talk about that.
Hold on. No, it's like the Zika virus. There was okay, so
Are you suggesting the government invented the Zika virus?
no. This is what they were doing was they were taking they were taking non-infected mosquitoes, nests of mosquitoes, and they were putting in a special poison that would kill them. And these mosquitoes would then go nest with other mosquitoes. And when they nested with those mosquitoes, they would infect them with a poison that would wind up killing all of the mosquitoes off. So what they were doing was they were using embedded mosquitoes with different disease, or not a disease, but
Oh
like
my gosh.
a direct kill to.
So
That's what I was reading an article
our
on.
government took the time to give mosquitoes STDs.
Essentially, according to what I was.
You know what? I'm not going to complain about those tax dollars. I'm just pissed I didn't think about
No,
it.
I wish
mosquitoes.
I could actually cite the freaking source that I read that with. It's been
Yeah,
so
wait till
long.
it turns around and becomes the freaking what was that one with what was that movie where they turn the cockroach monsters on the cockroach because cockroaches are getting everybody sick? Nobody? Excellent freaking movie.
No. I play video games.
You guys
bro.
don't remember this?
Yeah, no idea, bro.
Guys in chat, if you remember the movie I'm thinking
I
of, where they
I have
made
a
these
life.
giant they made like 3 of them, where they made these giant mutated cockroaches to go kill the cockroaches and make them sick. Because by the way, cockroaches do cause asthma and they cause other health issues as well.
Yeah.
With what they secrete.
You know what's a better movie than that? Rubber. Rubber is an amazing movie.
Dude, stop talking about rubber.
What is
It's a movie about a tire that kills people.
It's awesome.
A tire. It's a tire, people.
It is amazing.
Is that as good as Thanksgiving?
No.
Rubber is so much better.
We need to do a horror movie roundup for our viewers.
That'd
The
be
most
pretty cool.
terrible movies,
The worst movie in history is Man Else Has Faith.
which I have watched, and actually the most disgusting movie you'll ever watch. And this is a big don't watch this movie. Sincerely, this isn't sarcasm. Do not watch a Serbian film. You have my seal of approval to never ever watch that movie. I watch it, and I wanted the only time I ever wanted to throw up and hate myself for sitting through a movie. I actually sat through it, and I really wanted to cut my own heart out because I'm a horrible person for even sitting through that garbage. The person that made that movie should be in a gulag. Seriously.
Mining salt.
Getting turned out by a tree stump. That's exactly what I feel about that. You have to be a despicable person to come up with such garbage. It's worse than the Human Centipede, which was at least kind of funny.
It was decent. Like the first one,
Wait,
I think it got worse as they went
was
on.
a decent movie?
No.
It wasn't a decent movie.
Centipede.
It was not a decent
Like the
movie.
first one was the best one of all three of them.
It just,
Well, I mean, but that's like saying the first root canal is better than the last two.
no,
Well, I had no
second
second
one.
one. First one. It's like biting off half your tongue in a car accident, and biting off the rest of your tongue in another car accident. The first time wasn't as bad as the second.
The first time I got shot was terrible, but that second time they hit me 3 times.
No, getting
It was
stabbed is
horrible.
way worse than getting shot. Way worse than getting shot. Trust me.
I know.
Mm.
You've been shot?
No, but I've been stabbed. I've been grazed by a bullet, which I would take any day over getting stabbed because that sucked. The recovery time is lame.
I have lied about getting
I
shot.
learned though that Viking is pretty cool when you mix it with beer. I got stabbed, man. What are you gonna do? I missed my lung by a centimeter. Anyway, so gelatinous stuff coming out of the sky. I remember the movie The Blob. And so when I read Oakville Blob, because I remember after I read about it, I remembered seeing the Unsolved Mysteries episode when I was a kid. And I'm just like, oh man, yeah, that's crazy. I remember that. But I was thinking Oakville Blob. Well, did it eat people?
That'd be awesome.
It's like that giant, that berg of garbage and fat they found. Like I think they called it a fat berg in Britain.
There wasn't like any explosions or anything like that.
No,
like
nothing.
The days before,
Nothing. There's no real explanation for it.
No nothing,
The only plausible thing I can think of is someone dropped something out of a plane and it covered women.
Look,
Other people think it's star jelly.
it was an explosion at the Astroglide factory.
Wasn't it? Was Astroglide around back then?
Sure.
And it doesn't work. Astroglide doesn't globulate like that.
Well, it didn't globulate either, did it?
Yeah, the stuff was jelly. It was like rice-sized jelly balls. You know those toys you can buy that shoot the little like water-filled fake.
You know what they
things?
sound like?
It's kind of like that.
They sound like a okay. So there's this organism that I was reading about the other day about in a Canadian what's that? It was a lake in Canada that was drying up, and it's these organisms that people like. They show. Have you ever seen like videos like the creepiest things ever found, like in sewers and stuff?
You're talking about the big blob?
Yeah, those big
Yeah,
blobs.
it's different.
And they're breathing.
Because
They're
these
like,
are clear.
hold on, but I'm explaining. It sounds like one of these. I can't remember what they're called, but they look like they're breathing.
And
what it is
monobiota. I read about it too. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they found that thing is like it looked like a giant pulsating liver monster.
Yeah, but people were like, "What the hell is that?"
Hey, that guy touched it with gloves. He was smart, and he didn't even lick it. Canadians have their
But-
stuff together, bro.
Those things don't live in like really warm
Yeah,
places,
right.
but this lake has been
Well,
drying
no,
up.
they found a guy, a Canadian account said, no, this is bullcrap. They grow here all the time. They just don't usually get large. So like this,
But
it was why it was weird.
That's what it reminded me of. It's basically one of those. It's just the reason it looks like it's breathing is because I think it's a bunch of organisms get together, like microorganisms get together, and they create a massive ball, and then they move as they move around. The entire thing pulsates.
Yeah. No. Do you know what a rat king is?
No.
Do you know what a rat king is? Okay, so a rat king is not Splinter.
Sorry.
He's more of a rat sensei or shidoshi. A rat king is when a bunch of rats get their tails like bundled together, and they survive that way as a giant ball of tied together rats. That's nasty.
That's just weird.
It is, but that's just how it
interesting.
works, man. They do it
Does this happen often?
They just completely live that way.
fairly often, apparently. Yeah, well, I don't know for how long, but yeah, they get so tangled up in their tails they can't do anything. So there's a big ball of. It's kind of like critters. Remember the big critters when all the critters would get together in the big ball? The Rat King is kind of like that, but probably slightly less dangerous, minus like the bubonic plague and like, all the infections and rabies they probably carry.
Probably.
But this is a gelatinous substance, not a living organism.
But you said that there was
So
white
it just
cells
said
in it,
human white cells.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it sounds like it was just these globs of stuff used by a laboratory to carry around bacteria in. So maybe a medical plane was flying over and someone dropped, but it happened 6 times though.
I think.
Well, the military
I
was
think.
doing
Okay, so
flybys, so
Yes, that's the thing.
I think. Okay, so like.
I'm not saying it was the government, but it was probably the government.
I'm not saying it wasn't this
Nine
one, but
times
probably
out of
this one.
10 times out of 10, it's always the government. But
a third of a time out of a third of a quarter of a time.
Exactly. It's always the government.
My brother's sister's roommate's cousin's nephew. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing. Which is what you're about to be.
I really think it was like, okay, so like when Mount St. Helens ended up exploding, right? They had ashes for miles upon miles for like days and weeks and everything. Like it was like.
Remind me to clean the ashes off the keyboard, by the way.
Before he's like, because Mount St. Helens exploded again.
Oh no, I was talking about the fires here locally.
I know,
but this is different because, but it was in a very small area.
What I'm saying though is like, what if there was a huge explosion of the laboratory that it just rained for 3 days?
I know what it was. It was a giant earth pimple.
Yes. No.
Because it was clear, dude. It was clear. Like there was no ashy stuff. It was just it came down like rain in a clear globule substance that covered a huge area, but a solid area.
Okay.
And it did
maybe
it
the
multiple
cloud,
times.
Maybe the cloud had STDs.
How did
I mean, maybe the cloud had STDs. I mean,
hold on.
logical cloud. There was a logical explanation right
so
there.
what gets me about this is how did it get cleaned up? Like that's 20. How many miles? How did that get cleaned up?
I'm upset about the logic behind your question because I didn't look into that.
Because if they took that sample, this is covered 21 miles. All you got to do, it's a gelatinous substance, but it's not water.
It could still break down in the heat, though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a gel. I mean, it still melts.
It's not gonna like
But that's the thing is, this person had their sample taken pretty quickly. If they could just walk outside and get more than like.
Well, she did. But it only happened like 6 times. It hasn't happened again since. It happened in other places, though. There's other places that have recorded stuff like this. Not quite on that level.
But that's something that's always bothered me about situations like this is who cleaned up and when, and how to go away.
Well, then we know it was the government. Duh.
And no one talks about it. That's the
Look
problem.
right here. You saw rings of Venus floating around your face.
It was swamp gas.
Swamp gas. Globule swamp gas.
That's one of my favorite UFO stories. Is those there was a story about those two college girls.
Because you haven't had enough soda yet.
I like stories about college girls. What was this one? It's an alien story, man. It's fine.
It was an alien site. And it was two college girls, and they were in their dorm. And they looked outside, and they saw over. I think it was over.
Were they in a band together?
No.
Oh, sorry.
It was over. It was over a forest or something like that, and the government legitimately told them because it was lights that they were seeing like play around in the area, like just kind of moving around. And then when they reported it, the government told them, "Oh, it was just swamp gas."
Swamp gas.
And that's actually where one of the legitimate first time.
Why
you
is
ever
it never
hear.
Swamp Thing?
I don't know, because that would be something that.
Do you guys remember that show?
I do remember that show.
That guy had some serious trap muscles. I had the toy. It went from his shoulder, went from here to here.
Yeah.
There's no breaking that guy's neck. It was like Boa Bobo from freaking the Double Dragon movie.
Right. Oh, dude, you remember Double Dragon?
I remember Double Dragon.
I remember that.
Oh my god.
We are all over the world on this.
Dude,
show.
okay, so we're gonna kind of go down this road here. Captain Planet, dude, like they just what was it, like 2 days ago? They had like this thing on Facebook.
Was he blue or green?
Captain Planet?
Yeah.
He was blue.
He was green.
No, he was blue.
He was that dress all over again.
Oh, man.
That's what I did. That's what
Oh,
yes, Jack caught the joke. It's not the Mandela effect.
Okay, does anyone else question why they had a dude who did heart? What exactly did he do? Like one guy can move the earth, one person can shoot off fire, and Haji got heart. Like, careful, that's Haji, the dude with heart. He's gonna do something we don't know yet.
I was gonna mention
do something.
I was gonna mention being a very successful convenience store owner, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
He's got heart.
Because heart is.
No one gave it. People didn't care about
heart. It's the most important thing in the world, man. It's the driving force behind
nobody cared about him.
Like, right next to the small mine.
Or how about the fact that fire kept like, or what was it? I was looking at something.
If they were gonna be accurate, he would have lizard brain. Fight or flight reflex.
What was it? That one of my favorite.
Man up, Captain Planeteers.
One of my favorite ones was how they like burned down the oil barons' like house or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was like the guys like, and it was a joke about Smokey the Bear coming in. Like, what the hell did you do?
There comes a time when guys that watch Captain Planeteers need to realize they were just eco-terrorists. Oh man!
They were all on drugs that diluted. It was actually the other way around. People were fighting.
Okay, but the one thing they did do for us is they gave Steve Irwin a really good outfit idea.
I love Steve Irwin,
but he had a really good idea because he wore the exact same outfit.
That guy was awesome.
Oh, we suck. Anyway, so by the way, guys, there's a thing going around on a different note that the world is going to end tomorrow.
No way.
Really?
There's a biblical
Hold on.
numerologist.
Before the world ends,
Oh my
please,
God.
everybody like this and share.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah,
Please like and share,
guys.
like to share the show,
Yeah, please.
and
Yeah.
then share with everybody. Just go to everyone's page and share it.
Email us your cool stories at vanishinggates@gmail.com.
So we
or your
can't read 'em
comments
'cause
or
they're posted
ideas, topics you want us to cover. If you have hosts or guests that you'd like to see on the show,
Hosts.
let us know. Yeah, hosts. Anybody but you guys. Oh man, but I think our show froze.
No.
Yeah, it's frozen.
What's happening here?
Oh, it did, dude. It totally did. Oh my god. No wonder we haven't seen anything in chat. I was wondering, like, why is the chat just completely froze up? And
Oh man, we totally like froze.
oh my
Wait,
goodness.
wait, can they still hear us? Are you guys able
yeah,
to see
no,
or hear?
because they're still going through.
All right,
we're still
guys.
going
So
through
our video is apparently frozen, but we'll put it up on YouTube with actual working video because
Yeah.
YouTube pays attention.
Scroll down and see if they let's see. Let's see.
Paco, not Paco, but Bridget is
Paco?
really, I mean, that's the first thing I read out of the sentence.
Oh my
I was like, so Bridget is really keeping tabs on my drinks tonight. Appreciate you, Bridget. I want an
No.
alligator.
Roger Moon says it happened in Everett, Washington in '97. I think it's Everett, Washington.
It happened
Cool, I
again.
didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I knew it happened in a couple of places, but not that close.
I'm just confused if they can actually see what we're like, if they can hear us. Or
So
see
guys
us or
in
what.
chat, what we're gonna do is when we end this episode, we're gonna put it directly on YouTube, so you can actually watch the video part of this in case you can still hear us.
Well, she can't see. Look, a Captain Planet was blue with green hair.
Yeah, so I don't know. We're frozen on my side, so I don't know what's up with Facebook. It's Facebook. Where was I going? Oh yeah, the world is not going to end tomorrow. A biblical numerologist has claimed that the world is going to end because of something to do with the number 33 because he has no idea what he's
I
talking
swear to
about.
God, if it's the guy you're talking about, I have heard him tell
He said
at
this
least
last
different
month.
endings
He
to the
said
world.
it last month and said, "Oh wait, no, it's next month." So let me bring this to your guys' attention. This guy is a quote biblical numerologist. As a person who was very involved in church and who was a minister, the Bible says that no one knows the day or the coming of the end and whatnot. So, and Jesus said that. So anybody that says they believe in the Bible and that they know when the end of times is, tell them to shut up and they don't know what they're talking about and go back and read the Bible again. So the world is not going to end tomorrow, most likely.
Dang.
Because I would hate to see this guy be right. I'd love to get him to guest on the show next week.
But for all you
Or the
beer
week after.
mongers out there, the world's gonna end tomorrow.
It's gonna end tomorrow, whether you like it or not.
Just deal with it. It'll be okay. You'll be
Just
fine.
cope already. You've lived your lives. You've been a good runner. We've talked about blobs. You've watched a paranormal talk show with cigars and soda, not beer.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Stop being greedy.
I mean, a wheelbarrow full of $100 bills.
I mean, that could.
Would that be selfish of me to want that?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, I'd rather have a wheelbarrow full of beer, but
We do have a Patreon for those who are wondering.
A beer barrel full of wheel?
Yes.
Oh yeah, check out our Patreon page if you guys feel like you want to give us $1 or something. I don't know.
He's done with it. He's
No,
so done with
I'll
it.
leave it up, and we have like 50,000 viewers. I'll mention it again. I'm not too worried about it. Like,
He's
We've
like,
got
"You
at least
guys aren't
7
gonna do
years.
that
our
for
big
us."
thing is, guys, if you share the page, it does us a big deal. Share our posts when you see us go because that boosts us up with the algorithm of Facebook. And then check out our YouTube channel and watch that because that helps us out a lot too.
Mother of God!
And that's awesome. What?
Wow.
Seth!
Who is
You mentioned
that?
MK Ultra.
Who is that?
Oh, Paco mentioned MK Ultra.
How could you do this to the show?
I bet if we go back right when you said MK
Because
Ultra,
Dude, how weird would that
look
be?
at the image. The image
How
we
weird
both
would it
looked
be?
at him.
it is.
Dear CIA, I don't really care. I'm not a whistleblower. My grandma worked for you guys. Leave me alone. For those of you
Good
listening,
job,
for
genius.
those of you
Thank you.
listening,
Oh
it
my
is-
God.
it is
Oh,
stuck
thank you.
when he said that, and we
So-
looked at him.
So now we have two things that we cannot mention on air.
No, we
already
already
read that.
Yeah, you know, like
Oh.
I wanted to test it.
You wanted to test it.
Oh,
that was intentional.
Why didn't you just go for
Paco
a
wanted
twofer?
to check it.
Why don't you just go for a two?
Dear CIA, just ask me for his address. I'll give it to you. No. We don't talk about Dog Man anymore.
Oh, you just had to mention it.
Can't believe you had to say that.
You just had to, didn't you?
No, really, it did freeze where I think I'm gonna go back and
I-
watch.
I am
sure.
positive
I'm
that is
100%
where
Dude,
it
that is
froze.
pretty
it froze
freaking
where
awesome.
you mentioned that.
That's
so
kind
I
of
don't know.
paranormal right there.
No, it's kind of the government's. I know I'm on a government watch list. I have to be. I'm too rude. So orange, Cheeto, nothing. Never mind.
Oh,
Anyway,
man,
guys.
that's awesome.
This has been awesome.
This has been an ice skating uphill all night.
Hey, I'm pretty good at that.
It's actually been a really good show.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
It hasn't been great, but it's been great fun. Anything else there, Jack?
No, I'm still mad, Paco.
All right, so what we need to do is
You'll get over it.
What we need to do is get this guy. We need to get this guy on the show that talked about the end of times being tomorrow.
You just insulted him.
I don't care. I'm going to insult him further in person. I want to talk to him so I can break him apart biblically. It'll be awesome.
I've watched several
I mean, it's going to be really easy after tomorrow.
Honestly, I think I watched one of his shows like on 2000. I think when 2012, when the world was supposed to end, I believe it was. I was watching him
like
then
12,
because I think I know who you're
Okay,
talking
so
about.
you guys know the Mayan calendar 2012 was like 70 years prior to our 2012, right? Because we're on the Gregorian calendar. There was like huge documentaries made about it or something. I don't know. I might have made that up.
It was in World War II.
Yes, it was during World War II. Or no, it was right out in that era though.
I'm quite actually surprised that these things never went out.
I'm actually, you know what? I might buy some more of these.
I'm very surprised.
They don't
about
taste
these.
bad either.
No, they don't.
Decent smoke, good.
Looks could be deceiving. This is why they say don't judge a book by its cover.
I thought I was going to have to relight it.
I really don't think they can see us on Facebook anymore.
No, they can't.
They
But
probably could.
YouTube's going to see us, and these guys are awesome. They're going to go watch us on Facebook later. They can still hear us, I think. I don't know, because we can't see you in chat.
Sadly.
Thanks, Zuckerberg. Again.
I hate our YouTube. I hate Facebook.
We love you, Zuckerberg.
Guys, I do want to do a round of applause for Jack not dropping the F-bomb one time this episode. Don't.
Why don't you give a bow?
Don't.
Why don't you give a flipping bow?
Say frog guts.
Frog guts.
See, it's the same. But we can't get cut for that.
It was freaking amazing.
All right, guys. As always, thank you for watching. I am your host, Into the 40 and the Unexplained, the Weird, Paranormal, etc., blah, blah, blah. Jay.
Say beer can with an English accent.
Birken. Well, that's Scottish.
That was Scottish.
Try beer can with an English accent.
I can't do it.
Beer can. I
Beer
can't do
can.
it either.
That's Scottish, too.
Beer can.
Birken. That's Irish.
Beer can.
Ish.
Anyways, if you could say beer can in an English accent, then you totally could say bacon in a Jamaican accent.
Bacon. You can't do Jamaican. Don't want it.
Bacon.
Bacon, man.
Jamaican me kind of annoyed. Come on, son. All right, guys. As always, I'm your host, Jay. With me is this lug. What's your name again?
Jack. My name is always Jack. Why do you always ask me every time?
I just want to make sure
Now
you
I'm
don't
the
have
sad
Alzheimer's.
Jack.
It's all that aluminum paint chips you ate as a kid.
Yes. I'm
All
the aluminum,
all
I'm the
those
aluminum paint chip
Gelatinous
Jack.
rain substance.
Did
you
I
lick
say
when we were
aluminum
children.
paint chip, Jack?
Aluminum
paint chip.
I know you're holding custom in.
Jack.
You're going to dress in aluminum and have a paint can and a brassiere. You're the aluminum paint chip.
Oh my god.
And this is
Paco.
with his sunglasses.
Screw you,
guys.
Dave. Love you.
For who gods?
Bunch of
For
gobshites.
horgling glads.
Don't forget to join us next week as we interview who, Jack, because they're your guest.
Paranormal Investigators New Zealand. It's gonna be great.
We're gonna have some citrus on the show. It's gonna be awesome.
I don't know if they like that.
Oranges.
That's kind of rude. You
They're
should
from New Zealand. They have a good sense of humor. They have to. It's a thing. It's a stereotype, right?
I'll bring the lemons, you guys.
It's like the only dudes I don't want to headbutt are other Irishmen, Scotsmen, Norwegians, and Australians.
And yet you'll have to headbutt them.
Or Samoans. I've done that. Bad idea. That was a wall my head did not want to go through.
I like Samoans. They're cool.
I do too. That was why we were sparring. The headbutt was totally unintentional. My hands weren't doing anything. Had to do something. That didn't work either. That Mark Hunt guy, the super Samoan?
Yeah.
He's not super. He's just a regular Samoan, and they're all that tough and mean and awesome at the same time.
Sounds about right.
Some of the best people I ever met, and you don't want to fight them.
No.
You want to be friends with them. Trust me.
Yes.
I have friends that are Samoan, and
friends
they are
with
some of
them.
the best people
Much
I've ever
better.
met. And they make some good food.
And they're cool.
Why are we pandering to Samoan?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna go home and play some Destiny.
Now we're just
No,
pandering,
no,
whatever.
we have a meeting after the show, guys. Don't worry.
Son of a.
Dog and heat. Female dog and heat. Oh, do male dogs go into heat too?
No,
Unless
unless
you're-
you're
unless you're
Bruce
Bruce
Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner.
Let's
Jenner
kill it.
snack. All right, guys. We'll
kill
see you next week. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to
Bye,
like, follow, share,
Vanishers.
subscribe, etc., etc. And watch our YouTube channel and watch the show again so you can see all the other Proliferations of stupidity.
Thanks for joining. Love you guys.
We heart you in the face.
Bye, everybody.